Well, good evening there, and welcome to issue 40, and this concerns the Sagittarius tiger. And as you can see on the caption prior to the video, those are the dates you have to be a Sagittarian tiger. If there's any prior in 12-year gaps before the first date I put up there, just message me or email me, and I'll let you know what the dates were 12 years previous, etc. like that, 24, 36. Okay, let's get started straight away with the Sagittarian tiger. Even from a child, the one thing you will notice about this child, boy or girl, doesn't matter, is their natural ability to debate, and they really keep their parents on their toes for the simple fact that they will remember everything, in the sense of, say for instance, I don't know, one morning you've had a few to drink the night before, and let's say for instance Sagittarius child says, oh, can I have my mate round today, blah blah blah, you not wanting to get into any discussion or yeah okay then, not feeling at your best, you allow it. Following week she asks the same thing. You haven't had a drink the night before, or you're feeling like, you know, you've got something else you want to do, and you say no, you will get about half an hour or an hour debate to say, well, why was it okay that time and it's not this time? This is how they work, this is how their mind works. Everything is about justice and fairness, so the bar you set out even from a young age is the bar you have to stand at or stay at. If you defer from this, they will bring it up, and it can be quite infuriating in the respects where you're thinking, you know, come on, I'm the adult here, you're the child, it's my decision. And they will, they will get you thinking. They'll get you thinking about, oh, am I being fair? Blah blah blah. Especially with other siblings inside the family. You know, if they feel like someone's had preferential treatment, or they haven't had the same treatment as them, if they felt they've been treated better, then they will fight the corner from their siblings or their school friends. This is the one thing you notice this early. They will debate, they will stand and argue, and they're not an aggressive sign, it's not an aggressive match at all, but it is one that will vocally get his point across until the cows come home. And sometimes, you know, you've got to be wary you don't give in, because they will push the boundaries completely, and that's what this combination does all the way through school years, into teenage years, into the university years or college years, or even into the early years of the workplace. You know, it has to be seen to be fair to them, otherwise they can't switch off. A problem they do have in the workplace as well is that they won't leave their work where it is. The Sagittarian can be prone for depression after very deep thinking. They can question humanity quite a lot, and the bad things that may go on in the news or in the newspaper, they've read something, it can really affect them in daily life. It can really think, well, really is the world this bad? And they can go on a downer, and they can go quite introverted. Normally outside of work they're quite a garish sign. They will wear something quite flash to detract from the thought that they are that deep thinker. They really don't like other people to know them really deep down. They prefer to have a bit of a jokey, brash image, quite flash, but not in a sort of a nasty way, but they will wear something completely that doesn't match, or they'll have their own peculiar fashion sense and way that they carry themselves. But they do this to detract from the fact that they are very deep thinkers, and they do get very lost in thought sometimes, and as I said, prone to depression. So the work environment is very important for them. I like to see the Sagittarius tiger go off on their own. They're very capable of being a doctor, say for instance, but a doctor overseas in an impoverished country, because they will be surrounded, they'll be surrounded by that part of humanity which may upset them on the newsreel, but once if they're a part of it and they feel as though they're making a difference, then that would really, balance out their equilibrium and make them feel like, oh, well, I feel bad about it, what I'm seeing, but I'm doing something about it. An aid worker, something like that. UN, there's lots of things like that where they're actually in the middle of it and they can make a difference. As I say, they will be very, very good at what they do. They'll be strong workers. They'll be very resilient in that sense, and they will be able to put the hours in, and that's what they need. Otherwise they won't settle. I can see them going through their life, having these bouts of lowness, perking up for a month or two, dropping down, perking up, dropping down. That's quite common for this combination. You may feel that, when the Tiger and the Sagittarius got together, we might have a bit of a daredevil and a bit of a sort of a bit of a run-around maniac type character, always joking, but it can be far from the truth. And as I say, even though they may want you to think that, that's very, very far from the truth. So we have to be very, careful of the environment that surrounds the Tiger Sagittarius, and also their home life does have to be stable. If the outside world they feel is falling down, at least if they come home and it's a bit of sanctity, then that really does settle them quite a bit, and keep an eye on those depressive streaks. Health-wise for the Sagittarian Tiger, well, they're really, quite a robust combination. They don't tend to have a lot of ailments, or if they do, they can shrug it off quite quickly. As I say, it's all very mental with them. They're not prone to hypochondria, I wouldn't feel, but as I say, just prone to blue moods. May affect the decision making while they're in it, but more than likely they'll clam up and they'll seek to sort of like be on their own. But keep them involved, keep them working. You'll see the real best of this character. You'll see the strength of the Tiger and the balance and the poise, and some excellent decision making as well under pressure. And you also see that Sagittarian resourcefulness and that lust for the truth. They would be a brilliant reporter actually in some real good areas, finding out the truth, get them involved, get the truth out there. So even though it might, as I say, once again, even though it may frighten them, or not so much that, or put them in the sense of, what's the world coming to? But they've gotten out there, they've spoke about it, and then they can put it on the right track, and then they can get the authorities or whoever they, to get the justice out there and get the right treatment for that course going. Get them undercover, make brilliant undercover actually. So they could either be involved in the police force, and maybe not front line, but behind the scenes there, would make an excellent individual, this male or female. When do we want to see them settle down? I would like to see them settle down reasonably early, and I think they would too, to give them that strength and that and to give them that bit of a boost. That they have got something solid to come home to, or they have got somebody solid that they can go to battle with. And so that's why middle 20s, may even be slightly late, the earlier the better. Both the Tiger and the Sagittarian are not prone to being promiscuous. Once they've fallen for you and you them, you don't really have to worry about any sort of untoward activities behind your back, even if they're away working. They are a very, as I say, they take love seriously, and both of these combinations. So it would be a great partner, but one that you do have to, as I say, watch the psyche of quite carefully. So I love to see them matched up with horses. Even though the horse is a little bit unpredictable and a little bit scatty, quite exciting for the Tiger as well, and makes them not think about themselves so much. Or the horse, with its great sense of humour, sometimes can dig them out of that hole. And there's a lot of devotion here. There's a lot of love. The horse is very devoted. They're a very one-love character, so that's a fantastic match. And also, if we want to, you know, look for the Western of the horse, you know, we want the Leo, we want the Aries, we also, you know, the Aquarius horse. That's another excellent match. Also in the Eastern Dogs make fantastic matches for the Tigers, and this is even somebody who's equally as fair as the Tiger, and they form a great working partnership. So could be doctors together, far-flung country, or whatever, you know, to do with medicines, etc. That would be fantastic. And if we look for the dogs of Leo, we look for Aries, we look for Aquarius, and we also look for the Libran dog in that section. The ones to avoid for this combination are all monkeys. The monkeys tendency maybe to prod fun a little bit at the tiger Sag, you know, not in a nasty way, but that's just their character. The monkey is a little bit here and there, would really very much unsettle the tiger, and the monkey would also think the tiger's way too serious, and that they don't want to really sort of, you know, they're too stiff and they're too unapproachable. So that's not a good match, and 99 times out of 100 they probably wouldn't even notice each other anyway. So let's avoid that. Health wise, there's nothing really to worry about, and so if you are the Sagittarius Tiger, I wish you all the best, and please tune in for my next video.